Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing some very important tips for all the beginners out there who want to learn acrylic painting. So today I'll be discussing about colors, brushes and about all the surfaces on which we can apply acrylic color. I hope my tips will help you in your art journey. Now let's begin with what acrylic paints are. Acrylic paint is a fast-drying paint made of pigments suspended in acrylic polymer emulsion. Most acrylic paints are water-based but become water-resistant when dry. As you can see, it starts resembling plastic once it dries up. When dry, acrylic paint is generally non-removable from a solid surface if it adheres to the surface. Water or mild solvents do not resolubilize it. So it is very important to use a very little amount of acrylic paint at a time, because otherwise it will dry out and your color will get wasted. So to minimize wastage, use a little amount of acrylic color at a time and then add more on your palette when you need more. The very first thing that we are going to discuss today is about the colors. How these acrylic colors are and what different types of acrylic colors are available in the market. So basically there are two different types of acrylic colors. One artist acrylics and the other one is student acrylics. Artist acrylics, as the name implies, are mainly used by the professionals, and it has the most pigment, which allows for more medium manipulation and limits the color shift when mixed with other colors or after drying. It doesn't change color. Student acrylics have working characteristics similar to the artist acrylics, but they have lower pigment concentration and they are definitely less expensive than the artist grade ones, and they have a fewer available colors as well. Since today's video is mainly for the beginners, so we will be discussing about the student inexpensive acrylic colors. I am a hobby artist myself, so I don't use the very expensive artist grade colors. What I mainly use is, number one is Camel's acrylic colors, number two is Fevicryl acrylic colors, and number three is Montmartre acrylic colors. As you can see, the three different brands come in three different volumes. The Fabrica or Fevicryl ones come in 15 ml volumes, the Camel ones in 20 ml volumes, and the Montmartre ones that I have come in 36 ml volume. If you are a beginner, I will always suggest you to buy the smaller packs first. If once you become acquainted with the techniques of acrylic painting, then you can move on to the higher volumes. Trust me, you don't need so many colors to start off with acrylic painting. When I started off, I just used a 12 color set acrylic color, and it was more than enough. You will mainly require the primary colors and lot of white, and that's it. Buy a good color set of any brand and you are good to go. Moving on to our next topic, that is on what surfaces can we apply the acrylic color. We can use any kind of paper for that, preferably the thicker ones. I prefer papers with a higher GSM, at least more than 180 GSM. I like using the canvas boards as well. Here you can see a canvas board which is great for acrylic painting. These are cheaper than the stretched canvases as well. They need to be framed though. One of my many favorites is watercolor paper. I use 300 GSM cold pressed watercolor paper for practicing acrylic painting. They are cheaper, they have a grainy texture, they have a very high GSM of around 300 GSM, and they are great for acrylic painting. At least I like them a lot. You can see how thick they are. They don't buckle up when you paint. I mostly buy them in two sizes. One is 5/7 and this one is 4/6 probably. And as you can recognize, I did my last tutorial on this paper only. As I said, I use them a lot for practice. I just love them. They are so inexpensive and mainly for the beginners and mainly for the hobby artists who cannot afford to spend a lot of money for painting. These are the best option. Next thing is canvas paper. It is actually plain canvas which is neither stuck onto a board nor is it stretched like the stretched canvases. So you can do anything with them, you can frame them just as you like it. The next one is wood. Yes, we can do acrylic on wood as well. So basically you can apply acrylic on any kind of surface. The only thing is you should use gesso, which will ensure that the paint lasts for a longer time and also helps in easier application of the painting onto the surface. As you can see in this particular mural, there are clay pieces as well. So I have painted the clay pieces with acrylic painting only. So not only can you use acrylic painting on wood, but you can also use them on clay. Basically, I love acrylic painting for the kind of versatility it offers. I mostly use the papers a lot, mainly for practice. You can also use them on plastic and glass, but you should remember that you should always gesso your surface before painting, mainly the unprimed canvases and wood or plastic and glass that you intend to use acrylic color on. Now gesso actually primes the surface and makes it ready for acrylic painting. It provides texture for painting and helps in smooth application of the paint on the paper. There are many brands who sell gesso, but I prefer using the homemade ones. Guess why? Because they are inexpensive and so cheap. You can make them at home using any baby powder, student's glue and acrylic white paint. Just pour 2 spoonfuls of talcum powder or baby powder with 1 spoon of glue and 1 spoon of acrylic paint. Mix, mix and mix, and here it is ready. You can store them for a long time. See, the application of color becomes so smooth after the application of gesso. You can also use gesso on glass, spread it evenly, let it dry, and tan-tan-tan, it is ready to be used as a canvas. The next important topic that we are going to discuss about is brushes. Yes, brushes are one of the most important supplies for painting. What makes them different is the type of brushes that we use for each type of painting. For example, watercolor brushes are not equivalent to the acrylic brushes. The watercolor brushes are meant to hold a lot of water and lesser color. So as you can see here, this brush is a watercolor brush and the bristles are different from that of the acrylic color brushes. They hold a lot of water. So when we use these watercolor brushes for acrylic painting, this is the result. As it holds water but lesser paint, it is very difficult to apply paint on the surface. See, it is so difficult. You cannot apply the paint smoothly on the paper. So you need a special type of brush for acrylic color. The best acrylic brushes are made up of nylon. These are synthetic nylon bristles and they are very soft and they are made to hold a lot of color rather than holding a lot of water. There are so many different types of brushes available in the market for acrylic painting. Please don't get scared. You don't need so many brushes to begin. All you need are just a few brushes as shown in this clip. You need a flat brush mainly for painting the skies and larger areas. You need an angled brush to paint mountains and slopes and all. You need a mop brush like this to blend certain areas. Makeup brushes work really well as mop brushes, and then these are liner brushes or fine detailing brushes which are meant for painting very fine details. These are available at very fine sizes, and you can make these brushes. And round brushes are needed to add different types of detailings like make flowers and other things. These are broad flat brushes which you need for doing larger canvases. These are not too much required for the smaller work or for the smaller projects. So brushes are very important, and it is equally important to take good care of them. It is very important to wash your brushes after each and every use. As you all know, acrylic painting dries up really fast. So if it dries up on the brush before you wash the brush as well, then it will lead to damaging the brush. Your brushes won't last for too long and the bristles will come out after some time. So wash your brushes with mild detergent after every use, and always keep them in an upright position with the bristles upwards and let them dry. Now you should also keep some very old brushes with you always. I will tell you why. See, these are some old brushes with damaged bristles, and I also keep an old toothbrush for painting. You can use them for making the foliage of trees, and I use the toothbrush for spraying purpose and for making stars in the night sky. Now these are palette knives, also used for painting and applying colors. It is great for mixing of colors, because if you mix colors with brushes, the bristles tend to get damaged. So it is advisable to use spatulas for color mixing. So as you can see here, I am using a spatula to mix two colors, blue and white, and you can see it is mixed so well. We will use the brush after the color is ready. We will use the brush just for the application of the color mixture onto the paper. So that's it, guys. I hope my tips will help you in some way or the other. This is just the first part of all the beginner level tips. I'll be sharing another video on color mixing tips and many other important tips for the beginners. Till then, keep painting and keep enjoying and loving your art journey. Take care and bye. And yes, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.